Well, ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for the best 2 out of 3 pinfalls, submissions, or the single knockout to decide the winner, and it's for the LDN Capital Championship and belt. Introducing first, on my right, from Redditch in the West Midlands, he is the current reigning LDN Capital Champion, Hotshot, Joey Scott. Now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, on my left, hails from Luton in Bedfordshire. He is one of the all-time wrestling greats, having made 24 appearances on ITV's World of Sport. He's making a very rare guest appearance this afternoon. Will you please welcome the legendary Johnny Kidd?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to LDN London Eye as we join this 2 out of 3 falls bout in progress as Johnny Kidd, the legendary Johnny Kidd, takes on the Capital Champion, the Hotshot Joey Scott. And Kidd then had Scott in a hammerlock before Johnny Kidd rolls away right there after Scott had reversed it. These two are going to put on a wrestling clinic tonight. Collar and elbow tie, followed by a wrist lock put on Joey Scott by the legendary Johnny Kidd. Joey Scott backflips once, forward flips once, reverses, puts Kidd back into it, but then Johnny Kidd flips Hotshot Joey Scott onto his rear end. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have never seen Johnny Kidd wrestle, where have you been? But Johnny Kidd is an absolute British legend. Made his professional wrestling debut in 1978 in Wiltshire, taking on Tony Scarlo. Was trained, of course, by equally legendary Ken Joyce, and this is his 6th decade of wrestling in Britain. He has, of course, wrestled all over the world, but this right here is a special contest. 2 out of 3 falls. Johnny Kidd then with a very nice full Nelson onto Joey Scott. Joey Scott breaks it, slips behind him into a rear waist lock. Kidd now looking for that elbow, decides against it, flips him through with a beautiful single arm takeover. And now with a very nice quarter Nelson stranglehold on him. Good stuff there. Scott then reverses that back into a wrist lock of his own. Kidd rolls himself away, spreads the legs. Oh, and kicks the face of Scott, and Johnny Kidd separating himself once again. Well, Johnny Kidd could well become, in his 6th decade of wrestling, the LDN Capital Champion by beating Joey Scott today. What a phenomenal story that would be, of course. But for Joey Scott, this is about redemption. This is about ensuring that he takes the mantle of being the wrestler of the now instead of the wrestler of the future. Beautiful twisting toe hold right there from Johnny Kidd, and you can see his left leg holding Joey Scott's right leg in place, keeping not only the pressure on the ankle, but also for a short period of time, the pressure on the groin right there. And now Joey Scott can figure out a way perhaps to get to his feet, rolls onto his front. Now he's on one leg, grabs a headlock, spins that headlock around, and now snapmare takeover. Puts Kidd down, locking Johnny Kidd up into a waist leg grapevine, and a very nice dragon sleeper attempt right there. Goes for it. Oh, goes for a very nice roll through. Kidd finds his way back to his feet. Scott then rolls him back for a pinfall attempt. Goes for that dragon sleeper once again. Johnny Kidd not quite allowing him to get all of it. Throws him off there. Kidd then, what's he doing? Oh, he's got his own feet now, and he is locking Joey Scott in. This is a beautiful reversal, and Joey Scott now thought he was in control, but Johnny Kidd, as he so often does, turns things around with just a brief movement of the body, and now Johnny Kidd back in control. Joey Scott double leg kickoff. Johnny Kidd cartwheels out of it, and Joey Scott is beside himself. working that knee back to full capacity. Well, this is not a rounds match, folks. This is just a standard 2 out of 3 falls. Oh, look at that. Beautiful stuff from Johnny Kidd. Stomach figure 4 leg lock. Turns him over. Holds his feet in place right here. And he is opening up those groin muscles of the hotshot Joey Scott. And Johnny Kidd, drops his entire upper body right into the midsection and lower of the hotshot Joey Scott. Taking a few liberties with the rules there is Johnny Kidd, but no one is going to abolish him for doing so. This is still in the first fall, ladies and gentlemen, of this encounter. Scott then cuts off Johnny Kidd with a big kick to the midsection. Oh, and a snapmare takeover followed by a double stomp on the head. Just a 1 count. Kidd was able to bring up his elbow to get his shoulder off the ground. Scott now right underneath Johnny Kidd, trying to get a pinfall attempt. Kidd's shoulders are off the ground. Claps his feet together, or his knees together, shall I say, to bring Scott's face in between his knees. Drives his head down to the mat right here. This is British wrestling with a mix of the American style of wrestling that Joey Scott sometimes does portray in his matches. But Johnny Kidd certainly in for what we can only class as the British style of wrestling right here. Goes for a nice test of strength. Goes in there and puts in a beautiful cross-angled Japanese stranglehold and lifts him up there into a beautiful surfboard there. Japanese stranglehold with a leg-assisted surfboard. Great stuff from Johnny Kidd. Mr. Smooth himself. A submission will count as the first fall. However, Joey Scott is able to reverse that, beautifully done now, into a seated Japanese stranglehold. Made famous, of course, by Giant Baba. But here is that Japanese stranglehold. Wriggles out, then goes onto the waist. Kidd steps through the stranglehold, gets both feet through, and looks for that reversal. Very smooth, as you'd expect from Mr. Smooth. Joey Scott now trying to fix it himself, but gets caught and gets flipped upside down. You don't try and copy Mr. Smooth if you're not smooth. And hotshot Joey Scott, you, my friend, in this bout, are not smooth. And look at that from Johnny Kidd, beautifully done. Joey Scott trying to get a reaction and gets booed out the building almost. Still waiting for our first fall, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the winner of that first fall will have the advantage. Joey Scott once again cuts off Johnny Kidd with a kick. Irish whip to the corner. Kidd then blocked it, but ran straight into a snapmare takeover and then straight into a shoulder tackle. Back elbow from Johnny Kidd. Tried to go for the Irish whip, then went into a headlock. Kidd rolls him up, just a 2 count right there. Double chop, then blocked him from Johnny Kidd, but then kick to the midsection, takes it. Joey Scott, Irish whip, Kidd blocks it from the middle rope, and both men taking each other down. I'm not sure if heads collided or what, but it's Joey Scott who picks him up. Irish uppercut in there. Well, he's going for the Irish whip, but hit the uppercut instead. 2 uppercuts. 3, but this time it's avoided, and it's a backslide. Kidd's on his tiptoes, and the first fall goes to Mr. Smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first fall of the contest to the challenger, Johnny Kidd.
Johnny Kidd takes advantage of the hotshot Joey Scott's repetition of uppercuts, as through the 3rd uppercut we saw Kidd reverse it into a backslide. We get this bout started. It's 1 fall to 0 now to Johnny Kidd. Joey Scott then in control with a rear waist lock. Kidd then drops to his knees. Kidd for crawling through, double leg takedown from behind. Steps across, beautiful pinfall. If he could sit, he'd have it, but he doesn't quite sit. And now Scott in control of the legs. Johnny Kidd looks like he's trying to get that leg grapevine back on. He seemingly does it now. Scott battling for control. Kidd then lifts him all the way up, drives him down right into the lower back on the coccyx right there. Johnny Kidd then with that leg grapevine on the waist. Joey Scott trying to get up. Kidd continuing to hold, lifts him all the way up, drives him down once again for a 2nd time. The coccyx, drilling those coccyx. Oh, and he goes for the elbow, but look at Kidd well out the way. And here we go for Johnny Kidd, and he hits the hands as well. It is those small movements from Johnny Kidd that make all the difference as he turns in for a pinfall. Just a 2 count right there. Joey Scott's able to break free. Kid makes his way up, but he's turned his back on Scott, and that was a mistake from Johnny Kidd. And dare I say, his good nature is going to cost him right there as Joey Scott takes him from behind. Snapmare takeover. Oh, neck breaker right there, courtesy of the hotshot Joey Scott. And just a 2 count. Kidd able to raise his left shoulder off the mat. Well, Johnny Kidd's good nature there might well come back and cost him right here as Joey Scott is firmly in control. Joey Scott then with a nice neck vine. Kidd making some distance between him. Johnny Kidd now, front face lock from Scott. Could be a suplex. Kidd then rolls him up. He's got the leg hook, but no legs are crossed. And unfortunately, just a 2 count. This time, Kidd not making a mistake and not turning his back for long on Joey Scott. Well, the pausing between each contact is a very traditional British sign of respect that Johnny Kidd and Joey Scott are giving each other. Whereas in the American style, you may see both men attack right away. With the British style, there is that pause so that these guys can exchange holds, trade blows, figure out who is the best pure technical wrestler. Johnny Kidd reversing that test of strength right now, and the pressure on Johnny Kidd, unfortunately. Joey Scott then trying to figure out if he can get a submission out of this. It would be highly unlikely. This time, oh, beautiful monkey flip from Johnny Kidd. Just one more fall from Johnny Kidd, and he will become the eldest Capital Champion in LDN history. Johnny Kidd in his 6th decade of wrestling, of course, trained, as I said, by the legendary ring announcer, play-by-play man Ken Joyce, who, of course, in his time was a wonderful technical professional wrestler. And now Johnny Kidd with that beautiful headlock. He's got him nice and low, trying to avoid Joey Scott from standing up. But look at that, Scott using his right hand, opening up, grabbing Johnny Kidd by the trunks. And look at that, he pushed him down, and he could be getting a pinfall. Kidd's arm is up. I'll tell you, Scott with one hand was pushing him down, but we didn't see the other hand come into play and drive his shoulder down to the mat. Kidd then drives his head into the midsection, goes for an Irish whip, but no, he's pulling him into the ropes instead, trying to perhaps get him tied up, and he's got him tied up in the ropes. He has him tied up, and Joey Scott has nowhere to go. The referee doing his best to try and see if he can get him free. Johnny Kidd then teasing this audience. I've never seen Johnny Kidd throw a true right hand in my life, not with his fist clenched. And the referee making it go, and Johnny Kidd double fisting right on the side of the rib cage. And this time, oh, Scott then comes back. Joey Scott ducks underneath, hooks Johnny Kidd up, and he's pinned in a very difficult predicament, and the tights are being held, and this bout has been leveled.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the second fall of the contest, and the equalising fall to the champion, Hotshot Joey Scott.
Well, Hotshot Joey Scott then coming right back in and finding an equalizing fall. He did hold onto the trunks, however, the referee not seeing it. So now Johnny Kidd gets started this 3rd and final fall attempt with a backbreaker and almost folding Joey Scott in half. Look at Joey Scott's right leg driving into the upper back of Johnny Kidd, and that is providing Johnny Kidd with some pain. And Joey Scott, oh, and Johnny Kidd, some aggression from the veteran. Very nice change of style from Johnny Kidd, doing what needs to be done in this 3rd and final fall. Well, here comes Johnny Kidd then. They lock up. Johnny Kidd then goes for a beautiful abdominal stretch right there. Well, this is very, very nice there. He's got the head tied up as well. Scott was able to break that then on. Scott then with a very quick snapmare takeover and a very hard right kick to the upper back. And now he's stomping on the hand of Johnny Kidd.
The referee gives Hotshot Joey Scott his first.
And a public warning right there for the Hotshot Joey Scott. Joey Scott now with Kidd in the corner. Irish whip attempt. Oh, reverse, but throwing Kidd right back to the corner. And the force of that sends Johnny Kidd to the mat. Ladies and gentlemen, crazy that we are seeing Johnny Kidd in 2022. As I said, this is Johnny Kidd's 6th decade of wrestling. having made his debut in 1978, wrestled in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010 and 2020s. And in that time, Johnny Kidd has never held the Capital Championship. So this would be a first for the British legend. He is, of course, an LDN British Heavyweight Championship holder and also won the LDN Golden Grappler Tournament in 2007. But looking now to add yet another accolade to his storied career. Joey Scott, double leg takedown, his legs are on the ropes, not like this! Oh, and the referee fails to see yet again another mistake. And this cannot stand. This cannot stand, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you see what happened there?
Ring announcer Steve Litton pleading Johnny Kidd's case.
He's been Johnny Kidd with both feet on the ropes. It's outrageous.
Outrageous indeed. I'd like to see this bout restarted. I would like to see this bout restarted. Or at least continue where we left off.
As a squat, tell them honestly, was your feet on the ropes?
There we go. Kid's giving him an opportunity now.
Fair enough. I've got to be honest. You're gonna hear some truth off me right now, yeah? I honestly think you're the most disgusting people I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that is outrageous. And Joey Scott is going to walk out of this arena. It will go down in the record books as a 2-1 falls victory for the Hot Shot. I'm Reginald Kensington III. Thank you for joining us here on LDN, where we are British and proud.